Welcome back. Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur is facing a new Republican challenger, Air Force veteran Alea Nadeem. And Aaliyah is here with us this afternoon so we can learn more about the inspiration behind her run for Congress. Aaliyah, great to see you. Thanks so much. Your name recognition is going to be a challenge you down the road. You're a Toledo native, but you went off a long time ago to go into the Air Force, and that took you in a whole new direction in your life, but now you're getting back to your family roots. So you graduated from high school in 2003?
Yes.
And then we're inspired by 9/11 and events after that to serve.
Absolutely.
Talk about what made you decide to serve and do that back in the day.
You know, Dan, when 9/11 happened, I was a junior in high school, homeroom, watched the Twin Towers collapse right in front of my eyes. And it was heartbreaking. And, you know, I remember the next day it was United We Stand, right? You could feel the energy, people coming together. And I loved that feeling. And the military was asking for people to join and serve. And I felt compelled to serve the same country that actually had saved me, years before when I was a child. So unfortunately, I was kidnapped as a child to Iraq under Saddam Hussein. And by the luck of the FBI, my Toledo community, and my mom, they rescued me and brought me back. So it was the easiest decision in the world to serve my country when they needed me most, because I'm forever grateful to live under this flag.
Northwest Ohio is it's a beautiful place. A lot of great people here, and you know that as much as I do, because I've lived here since 1980, and I just appreciate being a part of this, but also appreciate being a part of America. What a great country we have. Talk, if you would, about where your journey in the Air Force has taken you, because you have an incredible, you're a lieutenant colonel and commander of the Security Forces Squadron Air National Guard.
Yes.
You were special agent, intelligence officer, advising on military strategy and national security policy. You've worked at the Pentagon, National Security Council. I mean, your background with the big picture is phenomenal.
Yeah, you know, the Air Force has taken me to places all over the world, right? I've been deployed, I've worked at the Pentagon, I've worked at the National Security Council, I worked in Congress, and what I've learned along the way is hard work really pays off. So a little old girl from Toledo, Ohio can end up in the room, with the president, or can end up in the room with members of Congress. And I really attribute a lot of who I am to this area, right? It's just good, hardworking people, common sense. And I've just taken that everywhere that I've gone, worked hard, like the blue collar family that I grew up in, union household. We all figured out what can you do? What skills do you have, right? That was the first thing that, my mom instilled in me. My mom's an electrician, right? And so I've just taken that with me all around the world, and I've been able to rise to all these places. But the most important thing that I pride myself on is I've had all these positions, but just being a good human being and being a good person. I think that's what counts the most, to be honest.
Politically, you're conservative on a Republican ticket, and you'll have some other challengers on the Republican side in the primary next year, and the winner of that will go on to face someone for the 9th District, the U.S. House. Marcy's not declared yet, but she's been there since 1982. She's 79 years old. There's a lot of good and bad about her tenure in Congress, but where are you as far as what needs to happen to beat her?
Right, so, I'm 41 years old. Marcy Kaptur has been in Congress longer than I've been alive.
Yeah.
Right? It's time for change. It's time for a new generation to come up. And one of the things that I've really focused on is the part that I want to focus on is jobs. Right? So Ohio as a whole has lost 400,000 manufacturing jobs. Right? The debt when she got into office in 1983 was 1.1 trillion. It's now 36 trillion. We have a drug epidemic, especially with fentanyl and overdoses in the Lucas County and Toledo area. We are not better off. Our economy's been hollowed out here. And so I really want somebody who's going to represent us in Washington and vote the appropriate way. We are not New York and California. This is a blue-collar working town. And so I think people deserve that, and I'm hoping to do that. I'm here to get stuff done. I'm not in any stretch of the way a politician. I've been in the military. I just do the job, and at the end of the day, don't give up. And that's what I'm here to do.
What's your biggest challenge to try to get the nomination here next spring?
The biggest challenge, to be honest with you, is raising enough money to get my message out to people, right? I don't have the name recognition. I don't have the name ID. So really being able to raise my money and get my message out to folks all over the district.
You also will be, there will be other people coming forward. You're the first to declare for that. There are some people, some names going around. We'll have those the next couple of weeks as time's getting close, because next spring is the primary.
Yes.
And of course, then you go in debates, things like that. What do you anticipate this next 12 months to be like for you?
Good old-fashioned hard work, right? So the reason I'm early and the reason I'm doing this is because you have to start early. I've taken the lessons learned from the previous candidates who have failed to beat Marcy Kaptur, and I'm taking those lessons learned and I'm applying that. I'm running early. I'm getting name recognition. I'm earning money to be able to neutralize her message. And what she does is she attacks people's records. So when you have politician go against politician, she's able to attack their record. I don't have a record, right? I'm just here to get stuff done. And so I think that's going to give me an advantage.
Real quick, 30 seconds left. The big beautiful bill has been a real tough call for a lot of people in Congress right now. It doesn't cut enough of the budget. The deficit keeps growing, but yet there's some great tax benefits from it. Where would you vote on something like this?
I would absolutely support it. So, I worked as a waitress here in Toledo, Ohio at Outback Steakhouse.
There you go.
And those tips, not having to tax on a tips is huge. On overtime, not paying that. Do we need to go after the deficit? Absolutely. I think the president's going to have 4 years to get after that, but we have to give people cold, hard cash back in their pockets. And I think this is a chance to do that.
Alea Nadeem, she's running for Congress, hopefully for the Republican nomination for the 9th District.
Thank you,
Aaliyah,
Dan.
thanks so much for being here.
Appreciate you.